Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be picking my May TBR. April, I feel like went by in a blink. It was a pretty good reading month for me. I will talk about that in my all the books I read in April video next week coming up. It is not quite the end of April yet when I'm filming this. I'm going to talk a little bit about my April TBR and just where stuff is at. So the first things that I need to talk about is these are all of the books from my April TBR that are yet unfinished. Both Tom Lake and Finale are books that I have started. I'm halfway through Tom Lake. I'm 1/3 of the way through Finale. My goal is to finish these before the end of April, so these I'm going to set off to the side, but those should be done. And then these are the 3 books that I did not get to on my April TBR. I have The True Love Bookshop, Fable, and Paper Towns. So I'm going to actually roll over The True Love Bookshop. This was my sister's pick from April, so, and I don't think it's that long of a book. It is 332 pages, so I'm going to roll this one over for May. And then these 2, Fable and Paper Towns, I'm going to add back to my TBR. As you can see, it is packed right now. So hopefully the month of May will help us make it a little less packed. I don't think I could fit another book onto there if I tried. I think for May, I'm going to stick to picking 5 books, so I'll have 6 on my TBR. We'll see how May goes. I'm finishing my grad school program. We are moving and we have all of that. So I really don't know how much time I will have to read, but I think 5 books will give me a nice selection of things to choose from. So without further ado, let's get started picking some books. We're kind of getting down there in our prompts. Give us a good shake. And our first pick is Reread a Book. This is actually a really good one. Let me check on here, but there's a couple that will be rereads for me, so let me just quickly go through here. Okay, I have this stack of books on my TBR that would be rereads for me. I have A Fall of Marigolds, which is one of my favorite books of all time by Susan Messner. Love this book. Would love to reread this book. It is 370 pages. Honestly, like I said, one of my favorite books of all time. I could, both Fable and Paper Towns would be rereads for me. Again, 2 shorter books. Might lean towards Paper Towns just because it is a borrowed book to me. Then I also have Code Talker and Touching Spirit Bear, which are 2 books that I want to read and declutter. These would both be rereads for me. I read them in like middle school, high school era. Again, 2 short books. And then another reread for me would be Station 11. I recently went to Barnes & Noble and picked this up. It was it on sale or something like that? But this is a book that I read and absolutely loved, so I wanted to add to my collection. I also want to read another book by her. I can't remember the title off the top of my head. I'm thinking I'm not going to choose Station 11. I know this is a little bit like heavier of a topic and will probably take me longer to read. I think I'm leaning towards one of these 3. I think I'm going to put Paper Towns back on my TBR for a reread a book. Like I said before, this is a borrowed book to me, so I'd love to reread it and return it, and then it'll be something less for me to move. So borrowed book, reread a book, Paper Towns. Okay, let me add all of these back to my TBR. Okay, those are all back on my TBR. Let's pick our next prompt. Prompt number 2. Nope, I got 2 there. Let's do one that's between my fingers. Hardcover book. I think I know what book I am going to pick for this. Okay, I'm going to put State of Terror on my TBR. This is a borrowed book to me that I realized I've had since 2022. I just borrowed from my mom, so she doesn't need it back urgently. It's one she read for her book club back then, and then she borrowed it to me. That's usually what she does with her book club books. But I was looking at this book recently, and I want to get it off of my TBR shelf. So hardcover book will add State of Terror. Okay, let's pick 3 more. Oh, I keep grabbing 2. Okay, have 1. U in the title. This might take me a second to go through and see if we have a U in the title. I was a little worried there that I didn't have any books with U in the title, but another borrowed book to me is Loathe to Love You, which is an Allie Hazelwood novella collection. So it looks like it's 3 novellas in one book. This is a borrowed book to me by my sister, so I'd love to read it. And for Tour, so this works out perfectly for me. And I was getting to like my last 3 books I was looking at, and this was the only one with U in the title, so we'll add that to the TBR. And as of right now, it looks like we've got a pretty diverse TBR. So let's see, I'm gonna pick 2 more prompts. Okay, I think I only have 1 there. Another skinny one. An animal on the cover. Didn't I just have this prompt? Okay, let's take a look. I'm pretty sure I had animal on the cover for April because I read The Call of the Wild, but we'll pull it again. I must have put it back in my jar. Either that or I have 2 prompts that say that. Okay, I'm gonna go with Women of Light. This is a book that I keep seeing on my TBR shelf and I really want to read it. It's a pretty short book. It's only 304 pages, so I guess it's not that short. It's average book, I guess, for the ones I've been reading, but I really just wanted to read this. Again, another borrowed book. This is going to be a TBR full of borrowed books, but that will help me out get some of these off the shelf. So Woman of Light for animal on the cover, and it has a horse on the cover. Okay, last prompt for May. Okay, here we go. It's a longer one. Not a longer one, just a wider one. 5-word title. Okay, I'm gonna have to do some counting and see which ones are 5 words. Okay, here are my 2 options. I can read the autobiography of Eleanor Roosevelt or the Bridgertons' Happily Ever After, which is all of the second epilogues and I believe the mom's love story as well. This would finish off that series for me. And this one is a very dense book. Which one do we go for? I don't think I want to read this right now. I don't think I'm in the mood to read a biography, which is funny because I have like tons of biographies and memoirs on here right now, and I just bought a couple more. But I think I'm gonna put the Bridgertons' Happily Ever After on for 5-word title. Okay, I'm gonna fix this and then we'll go over all the books that I pulled. Okay, I readjusted my books so they won't fall over on me again. But here is my May TBR. My rollover from April is the True Love Bookshop. A reread is Paper Towns. A hardcover book is State of Terror. I'm dropping books left and right here. Title with you in it is Loath to Love You. Animal on the cover is Woman of Light. And 5-word title is The Bridgertons Happily Ever After. So out of the, 6 books on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of the 6 books on here, 4 of them are borrowed books to me that I can return after I read them. So I'm really excited about this, and I will see you next time. Bye.